Coming up on Unpacked.
After having my second baby, I decided that I wanted to just give myself with a mommy makeover. The doctor just did drawings on my chest, so I thought he knew what he was doing. After 3 months of my operation, I then realized that the breasts are not even. They're far apart, they're very painful. I said to him, you know what, I did not prepare for this. He said, oh well, such things happen.
When one goes in for cosmetic surgery, they really are hoping for a completely enhanced look, but sometimes it comes out botched. Today's guest is here to share her story. Let's unpack. Orah Banyini Dube is a wife, mother, and fashion entrepreneur, currently residing in Johannesburg. Excited to get a makeover, she decided to get a breast augmentation procedure done in early 2021. However, the results that she received were nothing like what she anticipated. This is Orah's story. Let's unpack. Orah, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Relebogile.
So take me back to a time when you even considered doing any kind of surgery.
Sure. So after having my second baby, right, I decided that I wanted to just give myself with a mommy makeover.
Yes.
So I went in, that's when the idea of having a surgery came about. And then I sat down, I did my research. I looked at different doctors, plastic surgeons in South Africa that are able to perform such the surgeries I was looking at doing.
So maybe explain to us what a mommy makeover is for you.
For me, I wanted, my area of concern was my breast. So I wanted to just, lift my breast.
Yes.
And, give it a youthful look.
So perk them up and get them, and which many women want to do, especially after having a child and breastfeeding and things like that.
No, that's correct.
Okay. So you started doing your research. What information were you looking for?
For me, the most important thing was that the doctor that must do my surgery must be qualified. I was looking for a qualified plastic surgeon. I was looking for a black plastic surgeon. So those were my criteria going into this.
Why was him or her being black important to you?
I'm running a black-owned business. I get a lot of support from black people. So I just wanted, I want money to circulate amongst us.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very, very important that we support each other.
Yes. Okay, so when you were going about your research, where did you start?
Online, everything is available online nowadays. So I was checking online, looking at available plastic surgeon in South Africa. So I found 2 doctors that I narrowed it down to 2 doctors. And then, I made contact with them. That's how I followed it up.
The ones that you eliminated when you were narrowing it down, what were the things that you saw that you were like, not this one?
Reviews.
Oh, okay. So you did actually check
I did. Yeah, it's very. Yeah, I checked the reviews. I checked the Facebook pages. I checked the Instagram pages. I checked their websites. Yeah, so I did that.
Okay. So now you've narrowed down to 2. You contact the both of them. What ends up happening?
So the first doctor that I went to see, when I went to see him, we had a very detailed consultation, a very, very extensive consultation. He even gave me like dummy boobies, put them on, to see how the volume would look like. It was very, very detailed. So with the second one, because I'd already gone for my first consultation, right? The consultation was not as detailed as the first one. It was
because
more
you felt like you got most of the information.
Exactly. So it was more of confirming, like asking the questions that I had asked to ask the first doctor. So when I went for my second one, it was more to clarify the issues that I had. So, with the doctor as well, he didn't. The first one was completely. The second one. The second one was completely different to the first one. So it was very brief, not as extensive as the first one. The doctor just did drawings on my chest, so I thought he knew what he was doing. Yeah.
So in terms of, just so we understand, when you wanted to give your breasts youthful, sometimes it's just a lift, sometimes it's getting silicone. What specifically were were you looking for? What was the name of that procedure?
I was doing a breast augmentation surgery, which is silicone and a lift.
Silicone and a lift.
Yes.
Okay. And when you were in your first session, I'm assuming you get an opportunity to feel the cup size options and you get to choose what you wanted. Okay. So with the second doctor, who did you choose and why did you choose out of those two?
It was, for me, it was mainly the price point. The second doctor, it was a little bit lesser than the first one. Plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery in South Africa, medical aids don't cover for them. Those are cash surgeries. So, you want to save as much as you can. Yeah, so that was for me, it was a price point more than anything. It wasn't because one was better than the other, no.
Yes. What was the first doctor's quotation?
It was 15,000 rands more than the second doctor that I initially went for.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the second doctor, what was the quotation?
It was 80,000.
So it was 80 versus 95,000.
Exactly.
Which is quite a lot of money.
It is.
Yes. When you got to that point of deciding you want to do this, I mean, how were you able to save money to actually go and explore getting a procedure done?
Sure, I had saved, prior to me going for these surgeries, I had actually for even the consultation itself, I had saved up a bit of money. It took me months and months of saving because I really wanted to do this. I wanted to give myself with this procedure. So I had saved prior to me going for my consultation. So when I went in, I had already had some money saved.
Yes.
I was ready to actually go, for the surgeries.
So you choose the second doctor based on price point.
Yes.
What was the conversation that happened from then?
It was not only price point. It was price point and the fact that, when I was consulting with him, he made me feel very comfortable. He was qualified. He was a qualified plastic surgeon. Made me feel very comfortable. Assured me that the surgeries, I'm gonna get good medical outcomes from these surgeries. So it was more than the price point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So what happened next?
And then because he had already given me a quotation, after seeing him, I felt very comfortable and very happy to proceed with the surgeries. I then set up a date, to go for surgery, and then 2 days before the surgery, I then asked him, can you kindly send me pictures of the work that you have done before? He said to me, I can't send you any pictures for privacy issues. On the day of the surgeries, I will show you the pictures.
So why did you wait until that close to the surgery to want to see photographs?
Because everything happened so quickly. I went in for my consultation in January and my surgery was done in February.
Okay.
Yeah, so everything happened. So, when you have money and you want to do
and
this.
And
it's ready. You just want to go ahead and do it.
In terms of, because you mentioned you were doing the research. Did the doctor you had selected, did he have before and after pictures and reviews when you were researching him?
He did not have the before and after pictures posted anywhere. He only had one positive review on his Facebook page. He had 5-star rating on his Facebook, which made me comfortable. And then I went on to search on his website. He also had 2 positive reviews. So there was nothing suspicious.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
so, yeah, that's what I felt very, very comfortable. Yeah.
So you say to him 2 days before the surgery, I'd love to see pictures, and he explains confidentiality, which is understandable, but he could have, cropped out people's faces.
Exactly.
Right? And then he says, I'm going to show you the day of the surgery. So what was the preparation like for the surgery? Is it things like not eating the night before?
I think taking certain meds
Yes.
before the surgery and not applying any lotion on yourself the night before the surgery. Yeah, that was, one of the things that you need to do before the surgery.
So you are booked into a normal hospital. It's not anything weird or dodgy.
Normal hospital.
Hospital.
A normal South African private hospital.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're booked in, and what happens?
I booked in on the day of the surgery. I was super early, super excited about the surgeries. I then arrived at the hospital, signed in my admission forms. The doctor comes in, bouncing with energy, exuding confidence. And then he took me into the ward, started his drawings again. He chased me up about this and the other, and then we don't talk about the pictures. He then assures me that the surgery is going to go very well. You don't have anything to worry about. You know, you're going to get great medical outcomes from this. You're going to get the breast that you want.
So for people that haven't actually watched, you know, all these international reality shows to see what happens in a consult, the reason he draws you is to show you where they're going to be cutting and what they're going to be doing.
Yes.
So they mark exactly where incisions are going to be made, and you get to see that.
Yes, he does that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he did explain to you in full, we're going to cut here first, then we're going to open, and he explained all of that.
He did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens next?
Then I was then wheeled into theatre. Surgery time was about 1 hour 45 minutes. I come out of surgery. As soon as I open my eyes, this nurse, beaming with a smile, she says to me, "Oh my gosh, your surgery was successful and your breasts are looking so beautiful."
Yes.
Was I happy or was I happy? So the doctor then said to me that I must spend a night at the hospital just to monitor me. The following day, I was released from the hospital, and then I was then sent home. When you go home, you need to, after a surgery, you need a lot of support.
Yes.
Because you can't, you know, lift your hands, you can't do anything.
Yes.
So luckily for the support that I had, I was able to recover. And then after...
When was your first checkup appointment?
My first checkup appointment was after a week to remove the bandages because I was covered in bandages. And then when the bandages were removed, everything seemed fine and normal, right?
Obviously, there's still swelling.
There was a lot of swelling with my breast. And then I had to see the doctor after 1.5 months for my first review now.
So when the doctor was seeing your first checkup appointment, was he happy with what he saw?
Yes, he said, "I'm very happy with what I see. Everything seems fine." One of my breasts was lower than the other. The one was standing
in this checkup appointment.
In this checkup appointment, but he says to me, "Nothing to worry about. This is only, you know, it's normal for this kind of things to happen. You don't have to worry about it. The swelling is going to subside. It will go down, and your breast will be even."
Yes.
And then I went home, and I was very, very happy. After 3 months of my operation, I then realized that, the swelling is not, you know, the breasts are not even. They're far apart. They're very painful.
So before the 3 months, I mean, you did a 1 week checkup. Were you not supposed to be doing another checkup with the doctor?
No, I did a 1.5 months checkup with the doctor.
And he was happy?
He was happy. I was happy after the 1.5 months.
Except that he said to you that everything is going to even itself out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was very happy with that because for me, what made me comfortable was that the fact that one breast would swell today and the other one will be standing and then they'll exchange just like that.
Yes.
So it seemed normal to me. I was not suspecting anything.
Yes.
So after 3 months. He then promised me that after 3 months, then the swelling is going to go down. Your breast will even out. After 3 months, my breasts were far apart, painful, right?
And what do you mean by far apart? Do you mean literally in the middle where the cleavage would be?
Yes, in the middle where the cleavage will be, there is a gaping hole.
I got you.
There is a gaping hole. The one breast is standing, the other one is going down. I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And then, normally with this doctor, they'll be the one making an appointment, for the following review. This time around, they were not calling, nothing. I then called them to say that I need to see the doctor because it's been 3 months and this kind of situation is not supposed to be happening. The breasts are supposed to be now even. I'm not supposed to be feeling any pain. And they said, okay, fine, come in and see the doctor. They gave me the 5th of June to go and see the doctor.
Where was the pain at the stage? Was it around the nipple area? Was it feeling like it's inside?
It felt like it was inside. And I had a nerve that was running down from the breast.
Yes.
That was also very aching.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. And in terms of, because after 3 months, the bandages are all gone.
Yes.
What was happening with the nipple area? Was there anything else you saw that looked odd?
No, nothing, because he didn't touch the nipple area. So when they do a breast augmentation surgery, and when they're inserting the implants, they open under the breast, right?
Okay, yes.
So the insertion is under the breast, and then they put in the implant. So the the implant goes under the breast. So there is no scarring or anything.
Yes, yes.
On the breast itself, it's only under the breast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you call, and what did they say?
I call, they say, okay, fine, make an appointment with the doctor. I got the 5th of June. I went to see him. The day of my consultation, the doctor is not his usual self. He's not his usual warm self. This time around is a bit cold. He says, oh, Orah, it's you. Well, come in. I then, said to myself, I'm going to calm myself down, because for me, the most important thing is to sort out the situation that I have right now. So I then went, and then he checked me, and then he said to me, well, the breasts are not, they're far apart, they're uneven, and they're not lifted. So this means that you're going to have to go for a corrective surgery. I won't charge you for my time in theatre for the corrective surgery. However, you will need to pay for the hospital fee. You will need to pay for newer implants, bigger implants, and you will need to pay for the anesthetic.
But why, and this is the part that's confusing me now, why is the corrective surgery your responsibility?
Exactly.
If he did the surgery?
Exactly my point. For me, prior to doing the surgery, I was not even considering that I'll go through a corrective surgery.
Yes.
So I did not even budget for that at all. So, when you want to do something so badly, I wanted this to be a success. So I did not even discuss with him, should the surgery not go, okay, what is going to happen to me? Who's going to pay for corrective surgeries? So I had so much hope that this was going to go perfectly. Yeah.
So he's saying you would need to pay for X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
About how much was the X, Y, and Z?
Over 50% of the initial amount that I'd already paid.
So about 40 plus thousand.
About 50 plus thousand,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So what do you say to him when he says, this is wrong, we need to go back?
So for me, it was, how he was treating me post, during that consultation. So he says to me, I said to him, you know what, I did not prepare for this to happen. He said, oh, well, such things happen. And then he gave me 2 options. What really, really made me, gave me a wake-up call at that point, it was that he was saying to me, okay, it's either we do this first option of giving you newer implants, bigger implants. The second option will be to extract fat from your thighs and your abdominal and transfer the fat into your breast. So, my head was spinning at that time.
And did he explain if that's only going to correct the lift, the perkiness, or if it's also going to correct the gap?
At this point, he's giving me these 2 options, right? Because he's trying to rush this consultation. He wants to finish. He wants me out of his office. So in my head at the same time was spinning at this point. So I go home. When I get home the following day, he sends me a message to say that. So when I went home, I then research fat transfer. What happens to when you do a fat transfer? And the cons of doing a fat transfer, the body will treat fat as fat. When you lose weight, it will go. It will go. So I then messaged him to say that this is what I found, and I'm not comfortable with doing fat transfer, which was a cheaper option. He didn't respond to my message. He kept quiet.
Yes.
And then he said to me, how do you feel about yesterday's consultation? I then told him I'm not happy with the consultation. I don't feel that it's fair that I had paid so much money to have these surgeries done and not get the surgical outcomes I was hoping for.
Yes.
So I would appreciate if you can either pay me my money back in full, I go elsewhere and correct this.
Yes.
Or you do it, you do the correction.
Yes.
And not charge me for it.
Yes.
He then waited for a couple of days, and then he came back to me to say that, no, I can't do that. You're going to have to pay for it. Remember the consent form that you sign at the hospital. So I was taken aback. I'm like, I don't remember signing. I remember signing admission forms. I don't remember ever signing consent forms. I then said to him, send me the consent forms that I've signed, because I don't remember signing any consent form. It took him days. After days, the consent form came back. I realized that the signature that was on the consent form, it wasn't my signature.
Oh.
It was forged, yes.
So what happened after that?
And then I went to a lawyer because I realized that now this is I won't be able to sort out anything with this doctor. I don't think that he's got the necessary expertise to correct this. So I then went to a lawyer. When I went to the lawyer, it so happened that the lawyer's wife was working with the doctor at the same practice.
Oh, what a coincidence.
What a coincidence. So the lawyer said to me, you know what, this is a simple issue. This doctor is new, clearly starting out. He doesn't want, because this can cause a negative publicity on his name. I don't think that he wants that. Let me speak to him as a brother and try to correct the situation. If he can just give your money back, you go and correct this elsewhere. He then gave him a call. When he gave him a call, I don't know what they agreed on. And then he came back to me. And then
the lawyer came back to you?
And then the lawyer came back to me and said, I've spoken to him. He's agreed to pay your money back. No worries. I then left a review on his page, my own honest review, which was not a good review, it was a negative review. And then I shared the story with an online platform that posts about plastic surgeries.
Yes.
And then a few days later, I get a letter from the lawyer, a cease and desist from his lawyers, to say that
stop talking about him.
Say stop talking about him and stop defaming him and stop sending people to extort money from him.
How exactly were you sending people to extort money?
Exactly, and I must apologize to this doctor. And I said to them, I'm not going to send an apology letter to this doctor. Instead, he should be the one sending an apology letter to me. I refused. I took down the review, hoping that I'll still pursue, a civil case against him. Yeah.
So, I mean, do you believe you posting a review was defamation?
Definitely not. It was my own personal experience. There's nothing wrong with posting a review, but because he has legal muscles, he feels that, and he doesn't want people to see the review. So that's why he sent me lawyers to take it down, and I took it down at the time, but now I've put it back on. And after putting it back on, then I had maybe about 5-6 women making contact, reaching out to say that me too.
Oh, with
me
the
too.
same doctor.
With the same doctor.
Yes. From the time that you did the review up until, this lawyer engagement, what was happening with you medically? Did you go and try and get another consult to say, I just need another doctor to actually see what's going on here?
I did. I went to another doctor and he says to me, we need to fix this. We need to correct the surgery. So that's when I knew exactly for sure that there was a problem with my breast and they needed to be fixed.
And what did the doctor say he thinks happened with the first doctor?
He didn't go into details about what happened with the first doctor. He just said that he is able to correct the mistake that happened.
Yes. And what were they offering you to do the job for? Like how much did they want you to pay to have a corrective procedure?
I had to pay 65,000.
So 65,000 now?
Over and above the 80,000 that I had already paid with the first doctor, yes.
And which doctor did you go to as a second consult? Was it the first doctor you had initially, or you found another doctor?
I found another doctor because apparently, in South Africa, the best plastic surgeons are in Pretoria East. So somebody referred me there. Somebody that I've seen their breast and I was happy with the work that I'd seen. So she referred me to Pretoria East. I went to see the doctor in Pretoria East.
And this whole time, the person that you had consulted as a lawyer whose wife happened to be working in the practices, were they still helping you?
At this point, because of the defamation case, he said to me, we either sit down and deal with this defamation case and we pursue a civil case against the doctor for medical malpractice. With litigation law in South Africa is very, very expensive. So I had to sit down and weigh my options. Do I now pursue litigation case against the doctor, or do I now fix my breast? So I had to come to a place of acceptance and healing and focus on fixing my breast.
Before deciding to fix, there are things called medical malpractice that don't necessarily have to go the route of civil litigation. So did you follow up on, trying to get his license reviewed, all of those things to see if he was actually directly at fault in your surgery?
In order for you to do that, you need to see a medical legal expert. They are called medical legal experts, right? And they're very expensive. So you have to first see a legal expert, a medical legal expert, to check your breast and see what was wrong with the surgery. So I didn't go through that process. It was only when you want to pursue litigation case that you have to go through that. So I decided, that I don't want to go through with litigation. I'd rather focus more on saving up again and going to correct my breast.
Did you eventually go and do a corrective procedure?
I am due to go very, very soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've managed to save up.
Exactly, yes.
What due diligence have you followed in terms of this new doctor?
You have to see his work. Very, very important. You have to talk to people that have done surgeries by him before. I went to consult him. And, reviews are also very, very important. Check with medical boards if he's registered, if he's qualified. So I've done all that. And, hours of surgeries is very, very important. With this previous doctor, he didn't have many hours of surgeries.
That's why the lawyer's wife was saying he's still quite new.
Yes.
Yes.
But he is quite new. Even if you check on his LinkedIn page, he qualified in 2019.
Yes.
2020 we were like under lockdown most of the time. So I did mine in 2021, beginning of the year in February. So, there wasn't much time for him to do a lot of surgeries in 2020.
And that didn't concern you when you were doing your research on him?
Not much, really. I was more obsessed with, I want a black plastic surgeon. That was my obsession. I wanted a black plastic surgeon so that I can have bragging rights to say that my doctor is black.
Yes.
Yeah, so for me, it was more that than anything else. And what I've learned from this whole ordeal is that you don't need to use, emotions. You have to go for somebody who is very experienced.
Yes.
With a lot of hours in theater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So where are you in regards to all the women that contacted you? So some of them, came under your review to say, also me. Did you get in touch with them? And what are some of the stories that they shared with you?
I got in touch with them. Very, very important. It was very important for me that I get in touch with them to understand. It's very comforting to know that you're not the only one that has gone through the same experience. So when one of the ladies said that she had I think an abdominal surgery and also a breast lift, I think. And one of the breasts, like the nipple, it looked like it was bitten off by a chihuahua. That's how bad it is.
Yes,
I even said to her that your breast looked like it was bitten off by a chihuahua. But it's very bad. Like, there are no people that have come up to me is people with serious medical issues. I've had a lady that had to sell her house, to go and fix the surgery elsewhere. Because, you don't have such money lying around.
Yes.
You make sacrifices for such surgeries. I had one lady whose mom had a tummy tuck, and he left her with a bulge, and she is in pain after having parted with over 130,000 rands for the surgeries that she did with him.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So that's why for me, I just can't, sit down and keep quiet about this. I feel that I need to empower other women who would possibly maybe consider going for plastic surgery, to say that, look out, check the doctor that you want to go for. Whoever does your surgery, it must be somebody with a lot of hours in surgery for the kind of surgery that you want to do.
So obviously, it's something that is an ongoing situation. Have you considered reporting him to a medical board and things like that? And where are you in that process?
I have considered reporting him to medical board.
Yes.
What I'm currently doing, I'm compiling all the stories, all the, the evidence from the women that have done the surgeries with him. I need to get everything, the correspondences, the receipts of payments to make sure that it's the same doctor, right? After compiling all this information, I'm taking it to a medical board. Yeah.
What would you like to see happen?
I really want for this to stop, honestly speaking. It's just too much. You go in, you have a surgery, you spend so much money. You don't, anticipate to go through so much, so much is emotionally taxing. It's heavy on the pocket, it's emotionally taxing, it's mentally damaging. Yeah.
So your hope, you saying you wanted to stop, do you mean him no longer being able to practice, or him reimbursing you? What do you mean exactly? What does that picture look like of justice for you?
For me, honestly speaking, I think I've made peace with the fact that I might not be able to get my money like ever. So for me, I want him to stop practicing.
Yes.
Because it can't be that more than 5 women are coming forward to saying that they are also experiencing pain. There have been some women that are even saying to me, I feel robbed from the entire ordeal.
Yes.
I feel like I've been scammed by this doctor. So yeah, it's a very horrible thing to go through.
What would you have done differently in your research process when choosing a doctor now that you've been through everything you've been through?
I wish that I was not emotional about this surgery. I had gone for a doctor that has got hours, lots and lots of hours in theatre, regardless of, their background and, but mostly experience in this field is very important. I wish that I'd gone for somebody with lots and lots of experience.
Do you wish you had seen before and after pictures?
I wish I had. And when, for me, the thing is, I was not going with him because I wanted to get him. I was going with him because, I wanted this to be a success. I wanted this to be a success. I wanted a win for him and a win for myself, because I knew that if he wins, I will win. For me, I'm a chatterbox. I was going to get him a lot of clients, and it's unfortunate that things have turned out this way.
Yes, yes. What would you like viewers to know, about your ordeal and what you've learned from this experience?
Oh, it's a horrible experience. I wouldn't wish it for anyone to go through what I've went through. It was painful, it was difficult, it was traumatic. Before you go for any kind of, cosmetic surgery, check with the doctor. If he is qualified, check the clients that have done the work that you want to do. Check the reviews, check with the medical boards if the doctor is qualified. It's very, very important, because once you part with the money, getting it back is almost impossible.
Problem.
Yeah, it's almost impossible.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I'm very sorry for what you've been through. I mean, the whole purpose of you wanting to get the cosmetic surgery done was to improve yourself, and now you have to go for corrective surgery. Have you done all your due diligence for the new doctor and the new procedure?
I have, but with surgery you never know. Things can go either way. But you just pray and hope for the best. But I have done my due diligence this time around. I've seen the doctor's work. I've met up with the doctor. I'm quite happy with the work that he has done on other people. So yeah.
As you're sitting here today, are you still in pain?
I am. A year after the surgery, I am still in a tremendous amount of pain. The pain is not going away. It's very, very difficult for me to enjoy everyday life.
Yeah.
I have to wear a bra around the clock, day and night, because if I let my breast loose, then they become very, very painful.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming through and talking to us. I hope that you stay strong in pursuing the case, and hopefully there's some kind of investigation and a positive outcome for you and the other women that have gone through what you've gone through, but also just for sharing the information on the kind of due diligence you need to do when it comes to the medical professionals that you're putting your life into their hands, and that you're hoping are going to, do a great job with the cosmetic surgery that you're going for.
Thank you so much for having me. I really, really, really enjoyed talking to you. I find it very, very therapeutic talking to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
#Unpacked with Relebogile. There's absolutely nothing wrong in wanting to enhance your body. And yes, the doctors are there to do the job, cosmetic surgery or plastic surgery, whatever you want to call it. Do your research. Find out who the doctors have worked on. Check out the work that they have done. It is unfortunate in cases like this. And yes, we're human beings, so there are going to be those that are great and those that are not so great. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night. Thank you so much for watching Unpacked with Relebogile Mabotja. Make sure you subscribe to my channel where you can get to watch more episodes. But more importantly, you can be part of our online community. Comment down below, share with us who you'd like to see on the show, what story you'd like us to discuss. We love engaging with you. Keep it coming and don't forget to subscribe.